What an interesting race at Australia, at Melbourne GP. I'm talking about developments that came from this track were crazy. The correlation from qualifications to actual race day was wild, but there's something that I definitely want to point out. There was a lot of haters. There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of Gasly who ain't very Gasly on that track lately. Talking about if Hamilton was to be in a Haas or a Williams, he would finish last. Well, let's take quick note on that, all right? And I want to amend something that I don't need to amend it. I just need to bring context to it. When I said in the live stream of the finale lap that I believe Mercedes is leading the Constructors' Championship, I really misworded myself. So true, it is an amendment to really say they're leading Red Bull in Constructors' Championship. By far, Ferrari is up there, both driver and constructor, so big shout out to Ferrari. But let's take note on something. First, let's look at the Haas drivers. We got Mick, and we have, where is he? Where's Magnussen? Where's Kev Dahl? Mick and Kev, both 13 and 14. That's not last. That's not last. Let's look at Williams. Good old Crash Tiffy, 16. Albon, 10 in points. That's not last. So I want to ask you before I continue on to what this video is completely about. Is Albon, is Latifi, is Magnussen, and Schumacher, are they better drivers than Lewis, Sir, the GOAT Hamilton? That is what I ask you. If your answer is no, if your answer is hell no, if your answer is I think so, that's not a yes. And I'm here to tell you that factually, they are not. So if they themselves in these subpar cars cannot come in 20th or 19th, given I know Vettel, but even with that being so, Alonso comes in 17th, Latifi 16th. But with that being so, I believe that the bullshit that people, this narrative that people are out here talking is false. You need to stop it. Hamilton clearly is dealing with a subpar car, giving everything they're having. You all have even said, not you all, people have even said, Mercedes is off pace. Mercedes is not doing well. The car is not functioning well. Yet, Mercedes ends up on podiums and points this season in all three races. If Hamilton's not on podium, they're in points. Russell got his first podium in a Mercedes car in Melbourne. Stop with the bullshit. Hamilton would not be last in a Haas or Williams because he is by far the best driver in Formula One history. We get on to something else. Let's talk about Mercedes. Mercedes showed up to Melbourne with no changes declared. They declared no changes. I know, I have the notes. 3 other teams also declared no changes, being AlphaTauri and I believe Alfa Romeo. Let me make sure I validate that. Yes, Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri declared no changes as well. I was a bit concerned, but as we see, the finished result is 3 and 4. Might I add, with a debatable pace, rivaling Red Bull. With no changes declared. That means they're running the same wing they had in Jeddah. They've done and updated, not the floor. This is what we're seeing as a result of what could be just modifying or changing the tune, changing maybe suspension, maybe things like that. Things that they don't have to declare changes for. No new floor, no new wing, no new winglets, no none of that stuff. And we got a 3 and 4 out of Sir Lewis, the GOAT Hamilton, and Russell. Big congratulations to Russell. They still do have porpoising, but who else has porpoising issues that I think revealed themselves in a worse manner than Mercedes? Let's look at that. Let's look and check out Mercedes porpoising in one portion of the track. All right, let's check this out. As you see here, both Mercedes cars coming down the track. You can see porpoising right there in the vehicles. You can see that porpoising right there, right? The car moving up and down due to this porpoising effect. It's there. You can also see it slightly in the McLarens in the rear, all right? You see that. It's there. Nobody's hiding that. We're not debating that Mercedes still does not have porpoising issues. But there's another team that has some porpoising issues. but they're still performing very well. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at this. Here's Charles coming down in a Ferrari. I want you to look at this porpoising. You can see it right now. Look at that. Clearly, I mean, that range of motion is clearly greater than what we just watched in the Mercedes vehicle. And if you saw the cars trailing behind, compare the Ferrari porpoising to those cars trailing behind. The behind car is a Red Bull. I believe that's Perez. I don't know. Maybe at this point in time in the race, that still might be Max because Max got a DNF. No hate. But look at the porpoising of the Red Bull. Look at the porpoising of the car following that. Not as great range of motion as that Ferrari. So this is what I ask you. And this is what I ask and request that you think yourself. Ferrari is leading both in constructor and driver championship points. Yet their porpoising by far, according to this footage that I have, is greater than Mercedes and other cars on the grid. Yet they're leading. Yet they're winning. Yet they're performing. So did Ferrari bring changes to Melbourne? Yes, they did. Ferrari did bring changes to Melbourne. What changes did Ferrari bring to Melbourne? Let's check it out. Ferrari Packer has been added around the center line of the diffuser. This reduces the expansion angle of the part of the diffuser and will spread energy of the existing angles. So, Mercedes, no changes. Same wing as in Jeddah. Less porpoising that we see here in Melbourne than the Ferrari. So if Ferrari can be competitive, can win races, and can be leading in points, what makes you think Mercedes, being a team that has shown itself to overcome adversity and brings no changes to Melbourne, finishes 3 and 4? What makes you think that as we approach more races in the season, Mercedes might not be in that fight? They're going to be in that fight. They're in that fight right now. They're ahead of Red Bull in constructor points. Both drivers in the top 10 as far as grid, as far as driver points. When Mercedes makes these changes, and if they are positive and progressive changes, we are probably going to see a very nice, epic 4-dog fight. And I say 4-dog because I'm still counting on one other team to make its appearance, because in Melbourne, they showed up. They showed up because in the other 2 races, McLaren didn't show up. But in Melbourne, they showed up 5 and 6. So if Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren get their shit together, that is going to make for an epic season. I'm sorry. I want to see an epic season. I want to see a dog fight. I'm Mercedes. I support Lewis Hamilton. I am a newly supporter of Russell. Well, actually, I still liked him when he was with Williams. Now that he's with Mercedes, is even more so. But I am a motorsports enthusiast. I don't mind seeing somebody run away with the lead. I don't. Because if you're that great, you're that good. But I also like to see the challenges of multiple teams on this track dogging it out. I like to see both. I don't mind either, because I'm not that type of person like, if you're winning, I want you to stop winning. I want you to keep winning as long as you can win. But if I can see you win in adversity in a highly competitive environment, I love that as well. So with that being said, you see Ferrari has more porpoising, in this footage at least, than the Mercedes. Mercedes did no changes, Ferrari did, other teams did. But Mercedes still makes podium and makes points. They're going to be in the fight. Don't count them out. Everybody who counted them out, shame on you. There's nothing wrong with being objective, but let's just keep it real. Hamilton is the GOAT, greatest driver in Formula One history, still proven to be a great driver in a subpar car. When that car gets dialed in, damn, it's going to be hell to pay. That's all I got to say. I'm Ryman. I'm out. Just build it. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.